Hello, this is Steve Grosteffon, and today I'd like to give you a tour of the MyMathLab component of our class. Up at the top, you'll see a calendar. You'll be able to see different announcements and when your assignments are due. Here's a list of upcoming assignments and how long before the next one is due. You'll also be able to read announcements for the class. Over on the right, you'll be able to keep track of your results. Up at the top is the overall score. Try to keep that at least 80% or better. The midterm and final exams are quite challenging, so you want to make sure that you give yourself a little bit of a cushion going into those evaluations. Under My Progress, you can see that there are 60 homework assignments, 13 quizzes, 5 tests, 1 final exam, and 148 objectives in the study plan. You'll be able to keep track of your progress as you go along. In order to do homework, find Do Homework on the menu. You'll see a list of the different homework assignments. For each homework, there's a preceding lesson that is a prerequisite. To see the prerequisite, roll over the green flag. For homework 01, it says you must score at least 100% on lesson 01 before starting the assignment. I'm going to go ahead and click on lesson 1, and we see a list of different activities to complete. There are some animations, video, textbook. I'm going to go ahead and select the video. Now at first glance it appears that it's a single video, but it's actually a playlist. In order to see the different videos that are in the playlist, click Playlist, and you'll see the different videos down at the bottom, and you can pick and choose the ones that you want to watch. So if you start watching one and you say, well, I already know the material for that one, then go ahead and select the next one and you'll be able to start watching that. If you would prefer to watch the videos in YouTube, just click on YouTube, or you can also watch full screen. So use the little icons down here on the bottom. You can spend as little or as much time on the lessons as you would like, but you need to make sure that you follow each link in order to receive 100%. Once you've earned 100%, then you'll be able to access the corresponding homework. You'll see a list of the different questions in that homework. Select a question to work on. Over here on the right are some different help buttons. For this particular exercise, we have Help Me Solve This, which would walk us through step by step. View an Example would show us a completed example. Animation would show us an animation related to this particular exercise. Ask My Instructor would send me an email message with a link directly to the exercise that you're having difficulties with. You should let me know what you've tried and where you got stuck so that I can do my best to help you out. If you use the Ask My Instructor button, you won't get an automatic reply, but I will try to get back in touch with you within 24 hours. When you get a question correct, you'll see a green check mark next to it. When you miss an exercise, you'll see a red X. In order to redo a missed exercise, just click on the question link. Click Similar Exercise. It says choose the smiling face below. Select the correct answer. Check your answer. Once you get it correct, click OK, and you'll notice that the red X changed to a green check mark, and you now have full credit for that particular exercise. Since you have an unlimited number of attempts on each question, there's no reason why you can't get 100% on each homework assignment. Just be persistent and ask for help if you need it. Next to each homework, you'll see a due date. Homework 1 is due by January 11th at 11:59 p.m. The homework is set up so that you can continue working on it after the due date without penalty until the last day of class, which is April 26th at 11:59 p.m. However, homework 1 is a prerequisite for multiple attempts on quiz 1 and also a prerequisite for homework number 2. So it's really important that you work on homework 1 until you get at least an 80% so that you continue moving on through the class. The next thing on the course menu is take a quiz or test. The quizzes and test page is set up similar to the homework page. You see a list of quizzes and tests. Now there aren't any green flags, so there aren't any prerequisites. You get one free attempt on each quiz. So let's go ahead and open up quiz 1. And I'll just bubble in some answers and submit my quiz. Are you sure you want to submit your test? Yes. I didn't do very well. I'll go to the results. Okay, once I go to the results, I have an opportunity to review my results. While you're reviewing the results, the Help Me buttons will now be available, so you'll be able to use those to learn from any mistakes that you've made. Now that I've completed quiz 1, I see that there's a green flag prerequisite for attempt 2. It says you must score at least 80% in homework 1 before starting this assignment. So once again, we see that it's very important to keep up and do a good job on the homework. The tests are set up just like the quizzes. You get one attempt for free, but if you want multiple attempts, you need to earn 80% or better on the prerequisite. Next, we see the study plan bonus. Up at the top, you can see that there are 140 mastery points, and you'll also be able to see the number of mastery points that you've earned. Earning more than 70% of the mastery points entitles you to a bonus. If you earn 70 to 80% of the mastery points, you'll get 1 percentage point added to your overall score. If you get 80 to 90% of the mastery points, you'll get 2 percentage points added to your overall score. If you earn 90 to 100% of the mastery points, you'll get 3 percentage points added to your overall score. So for example, suppose you ended up with a 78% in the class, but you earned 80 to 90% of the mastery points. Then you get an additional 2% and actually end up with 80% or a B in the class rather than a C+. You'll earn some mastery points just by doing well on the homework, quizzes, and tests. But in order to earn other mastery points, you may need to complete some of the quiz-mes under the objectives to practice and master. You'll be able to keep track of your current overall score right here on the MyMathLab homepage. But if you'd like to get a more detailed view of your grades, click the View Grades button on the menu. Your overall score appears at the top, and then there's a breakdown of the different categories below. The homework includes homework, portfolios, activities, and projects. Each of those are worth 5 points. Quizzes are worth 5 points. The test category includes your 2 test and midterm exam. The midterm exam is 25 points, and each of the 2 tests is 12.5 points. The final exam is 25 points, and you can also use half of that to replace one of the test scores or half of the midterm exam. The ebook button gives you access to the entire textbook. My recommendation is to use either chapter contents or multimedia library. Chapter contents has a MyMathLab calendar. The calendar can help you to plan ahead. Notice that all the homework, all the quizzes, and tests became available on the first day of class, and then the due dates are scattered throughout. If you roll over this first due date on January 11th, you can see that lesson 1 and homework 1 are due. And then on Sunday, quiz 1 is due. Now again, I want to emphasize that just because quiz 1 is due on the 13th doesn't mean that I want you to do it on the 13th. Ideally, I'd like you to do it before, and then if you run into difficulties, you have an opportunity to remediate and get the help that you need to do better on your second and third and fourth and however many attempts you need to make. But if you wait till the 13th, then you may not be able to get the help that you need, and that can cause you to feel overwhelmed and frustrated. So try to take your quizzes and do your homework before the due dates, and you'll find that you'll have a much better experience in the class. With the homework assignments, it's tempting again to wait until the due date, but doing 25 problems on one day is much more stressful than, let's say, spreading it out and doing 5 problems each day. If it's been a while since your last math class, you might find the online review Getting Ready for College Algebra helpful. In order to access the contents for Chapter 1, click on the Chapter 1 link. Our first section is Section 1.3. You can see that there are a number of different resources available. The video presentation is a presentation from the publisher. So if you want additional lecture in addition to the one that I give, select the video presentation. There's the online textbook section, and there's also track tutorial exercises. These exercises do not count towards your overall score, but they can be used to master objectives in the study plan, so it can count towards your bonus. An alternative to chapter contents is the multimedia library. You can select a chapter, a section, and then select the media type that corresponds with your learning style. So if you're a visual learner, you might want to select animation and section video lectures. And you'll see the animation and video lectures that are available for that section. Next, we'll look at tools for success. Of particular interest are the Graphing Calculator reference card and Algebra review card. The Graphing Calculator reference card shows you how to do different things on your graphing calculator. For example, converting fractions to decimals. The Algebra review card gives a nice summary of different definitions, properties, formulas, procedures, and so on that you'll need to know as you go through the course. I haven't posted any external links yet, but I may do so later in the semester. Under handouts, you have access to suggested readings and homework problems from the textbook. You have review documents for the final exam and solution manuals by chapter. And then finally, at the bottom of the menu, you see the browser check. Make sure that you run that so that MyMathLab runs as smoothly as possible. Well, that concludes my tour of the MyMathLab component of the class. I hope that you found it helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know.